What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It is your girl Survivor Speaks. What's going on today? We're going to be covering. Give me one moment. Let me see if I have anybody that's in here, y'all. I'm sorry for being late. Sorry for being late. Let me see. Chat. Always, can you hear me? You can oh, wait. So, let me put my headphones on. Let me see. Why you- All right. All right, here I go. Hey, for always, glad to see that you are here. I hope you're doing well with everything that you had going on. How are you? Oh, okay. You say you're just popping in for a little bit. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in. Just make sure you hit that like button before you go. I'm not going to be on here long either, but I had to come and report on this today because it is about the Naziah Harris case. So, for always, let me just see. I'm trying to see if because did it link over? I know that they were having a. Okay, so we can't hear it. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me because I know that they were having a oh my goodness, for always. I'm so sorry to hear that. As so I will say a prayer for you and I pray for me. Sorry to hear that. I hope you be you're okay for tomorrow. Um I was thinking about you. I didn't think you were going to come in here today. That's why I didn't even send you a message because I knew that you said that you had the, family emergency or whatever. And so I didn't know if you're still dealing with that or not. So, I hope everything is well with that. I just wanted to bring you guys up to date on the Naziah Harris case. Um, So this is a story that is it's triggering to everybody. So I wanted to say right up front that viewer discretion is advised. All individuals are presumed oh, innocent until sentencing is complete, but he said that he's guilty. So he pled guilty to the charges. Since guilty pleas don't just in cases they often reveal the truth behind them. So I'm going to be reading from the that's not it, that is the R. Kelly case. And I'm going to be reading from CBS, the CBS News report, right? A Detroit man has let me say I have to put the disclaimer out first because I'm not showing the video, but I am reading from the CBS news website. I'm just not going to bring it over. So I'm reading this under the Fair Use Act of 1976. That's my disclaimer there. For educational purposes, right? So I just wanted to give you the update, and if anybody wanted to have the conversation, we can have a conversation about it. And I think that we should, because I have we covered this and we were waiting for this. We were waiting. The trial was supposed to start next week, and we were waiting for to for justice for Naziah, right? I do have a video because they do show. I'm going to show it. I'm going to read this first and then show the short video because there is something in the video where they're saying that I want to say they are. I think they find her remains there. They're in this lake, and we'll look at it in a minute. So a Detroit man has pleaded guilty to the red rum of missing 13-year-old Naziah Harris and to 5 separate sexual essay cases. Let's just say it like that. So Wayne County prosecutors said Thursday, which is today. So Jarvis Butts entered a guilty plea during a pre-trial conference on Thursday in the Third Circuit Court records show. In all, Butts entered pleas to settle 6 separate cases involving the essay of 4 different minors, with one victim as young as 4 years old. The agreement presented to the court includes 35 to 60 years for second-degree red rum, 10 to 15 years on 4 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and 10 to 15 years for third-degree criminal sexual conduct. The terms will all be served concurrently. So that concurrently means all at one time. So like they're going to merge these cases. All right, we're going to talk about that because I hope they're giving him the 60-year term and not anything close to the 35. I'm just saying. So as part of the plea agreement, additional charges of criminal sexual conduct will be dismissed. He also has agreed to provide truthful statement regarding the body. Oh my goodness. Where is the trigger one? So you know what? I see what you're saying for always. We're going to jump right into that. I'm going to talk about that. Right here, you said they gave him plea deals. Why? I think for the victims, I think it's better for the victims. I'm pretty sure he's going to get closer to the 60 years than he is to the 35. They need to just go ahead and give him 60 if that's the max that they can give him for all these charges that they ran concurrent. I think that he should be serving the time consecutively, but who knows? But anyway, so he also agreed to provide truthful statement regarding the body of Naziah Harris. Court records show. Butts is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Naziah, who was last seen getting off her school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive in Detroit on January 9th, 2024. Her body was never found. Hold on. So let me see. Let me put that up. In January 2025, Wayne County prosecutors argued that Butts allegedly started exchanging SA texts with Harris as early as 2022. During an earlier hearing on the investigation, prosecutors said there was evidence through testimony from one of Butts' business partners, cell tower tracking data, testimony from someone who claims to have seen Butts and Naziah together the evening she disappeared, and several of Naziah's belongings in areas investigators tracked Butts in the days following her disappearance to prove that Butts red-rummed Naziah. So while investigators testified to finding shoes and clothes she was last said to be wearing during a search of the Rogue River near 7th Mile in Berg shortly after she went missing, they still have not found Naziah. I still believe that those clothes that they found were planted. I've always believed that. Those clothes were planted. Because there were a lot of clothes in the area where they found the sneakers at, right? They never said that the sneakers originally was found near a body of water. They never said that, but they said that there were so many pieces of clothing that they couldn't test it all. My thing was, if you see all of this clothing over there and you do find something that was identified that Naziah was wearing when she went missing, wouldn't you want to test these things to see if something was, if you got some other DNA or something from another child that's missing, or even Jarvis Butts DNA on those other pieces of clothing? That's just my thoughts. But anyway, let's move on. So it's almost hard to grasp for air to realize that it's actually happening, because with it being so long in a 2-year stretch, it almost seemed like it was never going to happen, said Naziah's cousin Roxy. All right, so Naziah's cousin Roxy is, she made that statement to them according to what they are saying. So it's a rush of so many feelings right now, but it's unimaginable because we never thought that it would actually happen. Butts will be sentenced on March 12th. So if they are live streaming his sentencing on March 12th, I will definitely be covering that. Now, in the beginning of that article that I just read to you, it says that butts. Let me say it. Let me go back here. So I'm saying this the thing. All right. So let me bring this video over first, and then I'll get that. I think this is just. Hold on. I don't know why I can't. And it's so small. Oh, okay. So there it is. So let me see if I could kind of like bring this over. Hold on. So I hope that, my hope is that, and some of y'all already know what I'm getting ready to say. I hope that that grandmother and that aunt is brought to justice. Okay, that's what I want to see, because they got on that stand and lied, and they need to tell us why they lied on that stand. All right, so I'm gonna play this short video, and it looks like they have Roxy in the video, Naziah's cousin. Let me turn this down, because I was giving some feedback about that before. All right, so let's play the video.
They say multiple background checks were performed and are performed for all game officials.
All right, this is not it.
Ran his. Starting next week, the city of Royal Oak will be.
Hold on, y'all. That is the volume. That is not the video that I just saw. Hold on. Let me take this off the screen. How did that happen? Hold on. Let me see if I can get the right video. It was the right. Hold on, y'all. That is not. I don't know why. I had the video up here, and then how did it go backwards? This is not the video. Hold on. I'm trying to get back. Okay. So here we go. All right. Let me see. Oh goodness. I don't know why. All right. I'm trying to get past this ad. And then I'll bring it back over. Because I want to make a point after we watch this video. Because hopefully he will tell the truth about. Hold on. Let me just make sure this is the right video. Okay, so yeah, this is it. Hold on. All right, so let me bring it over. All right, here we go. All right, y'all, here we go.
The man accused of killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris has pleaded guilty. Jarvis Butts pleaded guilty to her murder, as well as 5 separate sexual assault cases of 4 different minors. Neziah was last seen getting off her school bus in Detroit back in January 2024. Our Jack Springate joins us live outside Third Circuit Court in Detroit with more on his guilty plea. Jack.
Well, Rochelle, one of Jarvis Butts' conditions for pleading guilty to the murder of Neziah Harris is a truthful statement regarding her body, which has still not been found. Now, investigators did find the shoes and clothes she was last said to have been wearing as they conducted a search of the Rouge River near 7 Mile in Berg. That was shortly after she went missing, and they still have never found Neziah. Along with admitting to exactly what happened to her body, Butts agreed to a sentence between 35 and 60 years in prison for the charge of second-degree murder. He'll serve that at the same time as the other 5 cases he pled guilty to, which all come with a sentencing range of 10 to 15 years, according to court documents Thursday morning. Now, when I called one of Neziah's biggest advocates, her adult cousin Roxy, and told her the news, she said I was the first to let her know and how shocking this was for her to hear. This is what she told me learning what really happened to Neziah would mean to her.
It's almost hard to grasp for air to realize that it's actually happening, because with it being so long in a 2-year stretch, it seemed like it was never going to happen. It's a rush of so many feelings right now, but it's unimaginable because we never thought that it would happen.
Butts' sentencing is scheduled 1 month from now. That's March 12th at noon, right back here at the Third Circuit Courthouse, where we'll be waiting for answers to what exactly he did with Neziah Harris. For now, reporting live in Detroit, I'm Jack Springate, CBS News Detroit.
All right. And so, hey, AOBD, what's going on? Let me just stop this. I'm glad you are here. So now, listen, y'all. They're saying, right, that in Jarvis said that he will tell them, in order to get this plea deal, he's going to tell them what happened to Neziah's body and where it is, right? I hope that he is telling the truth, because the aunt and the grandmother, should still, I still firmly believe that they still should be prosecuted for lying under oath. And I'm hoping that if her aunt had anything to do with the unaliving of Neziah, that Jarvis is true, it tells the truth about that. Because for some strange reason, I believe that her aunt was involved. It's just my belief. There were so many things that went on with this case. There are people that have been covering this case every day. They're coming with something new every day. They're coming with something new every day. They're coming with something new, even when there's nothing new to come. To talk about, they do. But you do have some creators that were tapped in with the family, tapped in with the community. I'm going to give to the Uncensored her flowers, because she actually is tapped in and she actually did a lot for the community, and she's still involved with helping the children, and she really does that. So I have to give her flowers. When looking for information, I would always go and, look at and see what she's reporting on, because she's actually, like I said, involved with the family. But I do have my own thoughts, me from hearing Shannon talk, it's the aunt, the way they tried to throw things off at first, making all these false statements that somebody said they saw her walking over here. Oh, somebody said they saw her yesterday. Somebody said when we covered right here on the Survivor Speaks channel about when they were approached at her Shannon's twins house. Shannon has a twin, so Neziah's aunt has a twin, and they were at her house and they were confronted, and it was just all weird. Everything was weird. And even the boyfriend did an interview. We covered that here on this channel as well, saying how weird they would act when he would come in a room, and he told Shannon's sister Marquita he did not want her in their house because there was so much stuff going on with Shannon at the time as it related to Neziah Harris. So we all do know, because we watched the preliminary hearing that they had here to see if they had enough evidence in order to bring charges against Jarvis, that the grandmother and the aunt both testified in that case, and they both got on the stand and lied. And so I do believe that they should be charged and they should be arrested as well. I did have a petition up. I meant what I said then, and I still mean what I say today. They got on the stand and they lied. According to the grandmother, Annette, oh, he didn't come in my house. He wasn't allowed in my house. And no, he would come and blow and the kids would go outside. And then only for us to see him come in the birthday party and she confront him about where he been. He's supposed to be family. And why has he like not been coming to the house? And it was just it's just weird. You saying that, oh no, he didn't come, but here we see the video evidence of you getting on him for just not coming around for some days. So what you said on the stand was a lie, ma'am. What you said on the stand was a lie. When we went over those very disturbing text messages on this page, we see that Jarvis and underage minor Neziah was in a very inappropriate relationship. I don't even text anybody that I'm in a relationship the way they were texting back and forth. It was gross then, it's gross now. I just hope that he just does not, because he just needs to rot in HE double hockey sticks as far as I'm concerned. Go on and rot in HE double hockey sticks. Everything you get in behind bars, you deserve. And I don't feel, the only thing that I am against saying is I just don't like playing God, and I don't like saying that, somebody should be unalive. Death penalty and all that. That's going a little far. Life without parole is good for me. Life without parole is great. I just hope that when he does tell them what happened with Neziah, that he does tell them the truth, regardless to whoever is involved. If your baby mama was involved, then you need to make that clear, because she got on the stand. I didn't know whether she was going to church, the club, to the rodeo. I didn't know what the hell she had on. But she got on that stand and she lied over and over and over again. And like I said, I believe that, and I hope that it comes out, because on the day of his sentencing, which is March 12th, we know, I'm going to, check to see if they have the time. I think they said March 12th in the morning. They should be telling the story, whatever he's told them, it should come out on the sentencing day. They normally, have like, some type of trial or whatever. hopefully Law and Crime, Court TV, and all of those people cover it. If not, I do know the Detroit station that covered the preliminary hearing. I'm pretty sure they will be there, and they did a good job when covering the preliminary hearing. So I'll just live stream it through there. But I'm hoping that we get a story. We get whether or not Shannon was actually involved, and that Desire gets the full justice that's due her. He has so many other victims. And so I believe for always, I know you were saying that why are they giving him the look at AOBD, look, your favorite painter. Oh, I know that they were saying so people keep saying they feel like his friend that worked with him knew what he, of course. No, I got that impression. I got that impression when he was on the stand. I also got that impression that King, his name was King. I got that impression. And the reason why I got that impression is because, do you know what his charges were? All of his charges were he was in there for whooping on women while they were with child in belly. Like it wasn't just one time. It was just what he did. And I just believe that even listening to his testimony, he kind of knew what he was doing. And if you listen to Jarvis's sister's testimony, I think even what she said during her testimony to me, it gave some type of like inclination that he knew what was going on in there, because they supposedly owned the business together, right? And so it was like it was the stuff that they had in there. They fixed cars, right? They fixed. Why do you have children's coloring books, crayons, and things of that nature there? And I understand, like, some people own businesses, they bring their children here so they have stuff there for them. But somewhere where you're changing oil, car parts, all that type of stuff, I don't think that's a place to be bringing children. Not only that, let's not freaking forget that Shannon Harris, the aunt, said, I called because it came out in the text messages. Let's not forget that. Oh yeah, I had called Jarvis to see if he needed Naziah for anything. Why would he need her for anything? So y'all claim that Naziah wasn't allowed to go outside and be around him, but at the same time, you called him to see if he needed Naziah for anything. Also, at the same time, Jarvis is saying that they would come, and instead of him just giving them money, he would give them money to come and clean the shop up. Wrong button. I'm sorry. You got to make it make sense. All these different things. All these different things, it's just very unsettling. Now, it is very tragic that Naziah lost her life because of this monster. But what is also tragic is the many victims that are living with this for the rest of their lives. They are going to be trying to cope with what happened to them for the rest of their lives. They're going to, and I believe that is why, one of the reasons why they offered him a plea deal. is because, for one, they never found Naziah. They found some clothes that she was allegedly wearing. There has been like some mix up when it comes to that. The picture of the last picture that Naziah allegedly took with the glasses on, and that didn't look like Naziah to me. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry, it didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I know she was with child, but that just didn't look like Naziah to me. It looks like a totally different child. But anyway, there was a lot of things that like came out in this trial that just was weird. It was just weird. So I believe to not re-victimize these victims, you have to remember, I think the youngest victim was 4 years old. 4. And she's already testified. I think the first time she testified here, I want to say she was 12 or 13, and already had to relive what was done to her. And we know that he is he does get to have a defense. He does get to have attorneys put on a defense for him. And we have seen in some of these hearings where he was recharged, and it was the 4-year-old. What they didn't have her in that hearing, but they were saying that, oh, she's saying this, and she didn't necessarily say that. She was 4 years old. So just because she didn't know she know where he placed his fingers. And it's just disgusting. I don't even want to talk about that part of it because it's going to take me to a whole nother place again. I thought that it was horrible, and thank goodness the judge ruled, no, we're not throwing this out. She said what she said. We can't unhear, and we're not going to start like, looking at these small things. So we know that these defense attorneys, they have a job to do, but some of them don't care how low they go to do their job. So with that, I believe that they would rather offer this guy a plea deal rather than re-victimize these victims. Those kids are definitely damaged for life. Definitely. He has some children by other women other than Shannon. So he has 5 children with Shannon. She had just had a baby when this case happened. And he has an older daughter. I heard on another channel, they interviewed her friend, a girl that she went to school with. They said she was very closed off. The girl said that she was in school with her, and she knows for a fact that at least one time that Jarvis's daughter was pregnant by him. The girl was very closed off, and Jarvis would bring her to school and pick her up. She was one of the only friends that the girl had. And that it was just weird. They never let her go anywhere really. But she said that was her friend. She got very emotional, and she said she had been looking for her, and she was hoping that they found her. And if they were to find her friend, to please link, she wanted them to link her, because you do have some content creators here on YouTube that got really involved with what was going on with Naziah and some other victims of Jarvis's and things like that. And they were able to find some other people. You have some people that did some really good reporting on this case. And they went way far and beyond, what we knew. Like I said, Tootie Uncensored is one of them. I know Shank Rock did some things outside of that too. So those are, two content creators that I do, know that was really following this. But Tootie Uncensored actually gave a function out in uh Detroit. That's her hometown. So she actually went there, and like I said, she's very involved with, some of the victims and how they're doing, and like she keeps in contact with them, and so she's very hands-on with them. So yeah, so shout out to her for doing all she can. Um we kind of like are interested in the same thing when it comes to covering these cases, as especially with these children. I like true crime in general, but I do like to highlight uh and cover cases like as it relates to young children, because it is definitely something that's going on in all communities. And what's happening now in the United States of supposed to be of America is really disturbing to watch and to see the cover up. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna just stay on over here away from that. But if you know, then you know what is going on. The cover up, just disgusted on all fronts. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Nobody should be protected. Nobody should be protected when it comes to anybody harming children. It's crazy to me that I don't even want to talk about that, y'all. I don't even want to talk about that. I'm just saying, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It is disgusting to see the cover up that's going on right now because of people's titles and how much money they have. It is disgusting. It is traumatizing. These victims are being re-victimized. And because people have a little more money, some of the things that they've said, and I just want to stay away from it, because one girl yesterday, oh boy, she said something, and I was just like, oh, well, this content creator knows because he's an attorney. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But I was like, wait a minute, did she just call out that station? Did she? Child, okay, let me tell y'all where y'all can find the Midas touch, right? The Midas touch. He may get on somebody. They may get on somebody's nerves over there because they are always like every 5 minutes they are turning out videos. But on the Midas Touch channel, he does have a video where he interviewed one of the victims who wasn't at that hearing yesterday. After the hearing that they had on Capitol Hill. And in that interview, y'all can go on over there and listen to it for yourself. Just look at yesterday, the Midas Touches channel, and look at the interview with the victim. Because I'm not going to say it over here, but she calls out her channel over there that was being paid for a smear campaign for 10 to 12 years, she says, about her before the Epstein man was arrested the second time. And I said, what? They what? And now, listen, so for always, if you watch it, did you see the interview with the victim yesterday? If you missed what she said, because Ben kind of like asked her about what she said, everything except that statement that she said. Ben was not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So if you didn't hear it, I need you to go back and listen to the victim who wasn't at the hearing yesterday, but Ben interviewed her yesterday, and listen to who she said was paid and how much money they were paid for about 10 to 12 years to do a smear campaign on her. I said, these mofos, and now y'all out here acting like y'all care about these freaking victims. Like, come on, Meg, you okay, so you saw it today? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to defend, I don't need them over here. I'm a small channel. I don't need nobody over here messing with me. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. If you saw it, you saw it. If you know, then you know. I said they was paid what, 10K a month? You got to be kidding me. And now it's all everybody, oh, the victims. But you were victimizing the victim. I couldn't believe that. You was in shock. I almost passed out. I said, Lord, just take me now. Because what in the world is going on? I don't think that these people realize that these things were going to come out. Why are we? Okay, so I'm going off somewhere I'm not supposed to go. I try to stay away from that. I just don't understand how people in other countries are kicking these people out. You are not a part of part. We are doing an investigation, and that's just it. Because you showed up in those daggone files, you're out of here. But what are we doing here? Mass cover up, crazy. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah, sometimes I have to look away from it sometimes too, for always. Like it is just a lot, but you definitely need to stay informed. And for some of the people that was so, a lot of the people are upset. So, and that's what I'm glad of. Yes, we are. We definitely are. I'm glad that a lot of people that I don't know if they had the wool pulled over their eyes, or they just wanted to not see what we see. And now they're having to come to Jesus' moment, and I love it. And I, just sit back and just let the Midas touch and all them. Don Lemon is doing a great job over there on his channel as well. And having like the right people on the channel. So shout out to Don as well. And he's in a mess himself. He was arrested. And that's BS, and I can't wait until that actually gets tossed out. But there's a lot of things, there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of things that's going on between what they are trying to sweep under the rug. A lot of people are missing it. If you're not really paying attention to it. I'm just not somebody that I'm just not into reporting on politics, but I do see it, and there's a lot going on. And I just want to say to anybody that stops by here, or anybody that's here right now, keep your head up. Things are rough. Things are rough for a lot of people. A lot of people are having a hard time right now, me included. So, but there is a lot that is, I think it's going to get a little, things are getting better. I've seen things where things have turned kind of, and so I do see that. Oh, I did. Oh, okay. So wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something else. I do see that there are some things that have turned. The hearing yesterday being one of them. A lot of people did not digest that well. A lot of people were offended by that. And so today there was a whole new outlook, for some people that were just not even getting it. To actually see it is something different than just hearing it. We've been living this for a very long time, not everybody as it relates to the trafficking, stuff like that. I'm just saying all of the things that are happening to other people. We have been trying to tell this story for so long, and oh no, it's not happening. And so now it's happening to a lot of people. And so now they're seeing what is going on. But to see in real time somebody that's supposed to be over, it just was disturbing that you didn't even have the decency to turn around and look at these victims, wouldn't even look at these victims. Anyhow, I'm so glad that I'm just gonna say this. I'm about to get off here. My mom, she's she's doing. I was just over there earlier. She's doing okay. She's a mess, but she's okay. Thank you so much for asking. Um, so I'm going to just get ready to get off of here. And I'm just going to say, keep your head up. A lot of us are going through a lot of different things nowadays. Some of it is, can't be avoided. The job markets are dried up. People are getting laid off. There are so many things that have been removed, and people didn't realize at the time that they were voting for these things to be removed, that you only thought it pertained to people of color, and it did not. And so now you're feeling the aftermath of these things, DEI being one of them. DEI was not just for African Americans. It was for all women, brown, and this is what they said, brown and black women. So the gender, the people that benefited from DEI mainly was the Caucasian woman, because they are part of the minority. They are women. Women, we are part of a minority, regardless to what color you are. And at the time, they didn't know that they were part of the minority. So when they removed the DEI, they were affected as well. And just like, what's going on? That is what it is. That's because you have to read. You have to open up your mind. Stop being closed-minded and thinking that things relate to just us. No, it was not that. And so now, though, that has been stripped away. And so it helped them the most. They benefited before me and you would benefit from it. It's just the truth. And they did not believe that. But when they stripped it away, oh boy, you're figuring it out now. But it's too late under this administration. So hopefully, we'll see things change. Just hold on. A lot of people are going through something mentally. Check on your good friends. Check on the friends that you think and you believe are strong. They may not be. And just hang in there. We're all going through it, I believe. We were never considered equal. And so, some of us have double and triple strikes against us. But, it is what it is. I think that, that's like going to change. I mean, things are moving slow, but I think the tide is turning. At least that's what I'm praying for. And I'm somebody that I really, really watch what's going on just beyond what is like sensationalized when it comes to news and things like that. Like I watch stuff you probably wouldn't believe, but I do, and I catch a lot of things, and sometimes I go back and I replay things because like I'm interested in it to really see like what's going on, because you have to. You can't just like take the word of somebody all the time. Sometimes you have to pick up something and you have to read about it yourself, and and follow stories and things and stuff like yourself to see what's going on, who's for you, who's not. um all of those things. So I consume a lot of things that people probably would not even believe, you know, outside of true crime. I think that it's because I need to know. So I think, like I said, either Don Lemon's channel or the Midas Touch. If you're somebody that's looking for like true reporting, sometimes the Midas Touch, sometimes it get. I know a lot of people are frustrated with them because their titles sometimes you click in and it says one thing and it's something else, and a lot of people are upset with that. But something happened, oh my gosh, recently that shocked me. For always, I don't know if you saw this or not. And I was rooting for him, but I didn't have no other choice but to unfollow him, because I'm like, let me go and look at this myself. What? So I don't know if you saw. I'm like, what? I was not online at all, right? And I got online and I saw something about the Midas Touch cuts ties with Michael Cohen. And I'm like, what happened? So I had to go digging because I hadn't been up that day. I wasn't feeling well that day. So I was just not really looking at anything. And then I looked and saw it and I said, Michael Cohen, are you crazy? I was heartbroken because I turned a lot of people onto his podcast after he got out of jail, because I loved it, the Mea Culpa podcast that he made. And I thought that he was trying to make atonement for what he had done. And he was, and just a simple fact to even think that you was trying to get back into that man said some horrible things to your daughter. Yeah, you was legal. Yeah, I watched Legal AF too. Pol Pop. I do watch Legal AF. Um, yeah, I was heartbroken when I went back and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be exonerated and I'm going to be." I, I said, Michael, I don't know about this one, Michael. Like, cause listen, I did all the research and all the looking, and Michael, unless you can come out with something else. Yeah, that bothered me. I said, okay, Michael, I'm gonna unfollow you right about now. I'm not watching nothing of yours. I haven't listened to Mea Culpa in a while. I just I just cannot. I'm You know what? I don't think that that is the case. He's still talking about the guy. So what you got to remember, what I think happening was he was known as his fixer, right? He was known as his fixer. So he was incarcerated because of that, right? Because of the one act with Stormy Daniels. And so this guy is in a bind right about now. He needs somebody to help him because everything that he's doing now is not what it is. This is just me speculating. This is all speculation, right? Because I really thought about this. I was like, what are you doing? So this is me speculating. He made a lot of money when he was with this guy, right? He's stuck. He don't really have, he got people around him, but not how Michael Corn was. I believe, I'm speculating, he saw an opening. Maybe I could get back in there. Maybe I can get you got to realize that the grifter is grifting so much. He done made so much money since he been back in office this year. He like, let me see if I can send out the dog whistle so that I can get back in the fold. But I'm going to throw Tish James under the bus and say that I was coerced by Tish James. And as soon as you say Tish James to that guy, his antennas is going to go up. That's exactly what it is. So he was trying to make excuses for this, but it didn't work. It backfired. So it's just my speculation. It's just me going down a rabbit hole, like in my own mind with myself, with and what things that I like to watch and things that I like to stay informed of. And I really, really, like I said, I used to go to sleep listening to Mea Culpa when he first got out of prison, because he had a lot of good people on there that were telling the truth. He was telling everything. And it was interesting. And I liked the way his show, the way he did his show. But it's like I said, to hear what I heard the other day, and I started going down a rabbit hole and I started speculating in my own mind. I think that's what it is, because he was his fixer, because that's a dog whistle that he threw out. I feel like I was coerced by Tish James and the people of whatever when I testified on Congress that Tish James is not a part of Congress. Tish James is just somebody that charges was being brought up on because of who she is in New York, and because she brought the charges against this guy that he was found guilty for 34 counts of the charges when he went to jail. So I believe by him throwing out that name and saying that he was coerced when you were telling a different story before, that's okay. Well, maybe we could get him in here. Yeah, they call her Tish James. So yeah, he did. Yeah, he said Tish James in him. Yep. So now it's like he threw that out there, and I could not believe it, and I'm like, what, Michael? What are we doing here? All right, I don't want to off on the tangent that I didn't want to go off on, but I'm just saying. I just was saying, like I said, to say, hold on if you can. Hold on if you can, because we are all going through it. And just check on the people that you love. Check on the people that you believe that are strong. They may need you more than you ever know. And I'm so glad that, getting back to what, back to why I did this live. So I'm so glad that, there is justice for Naziah, justice for the other victims. And I am waiting to hear what he said actually happened to Naziah, and uh, what happened to, and where's Naziah? Where was her body left? Who else was involved in Naziah's unaliving? Who else? So tell it, and tell it all, because your baby mama was going to come back in there and testify against you again. So if she has something to do with this, because you can tell that she was jealous of Naziah. You could tell that she was jealous of this young girl. And I don't believe that they didn't know that this man was dealing with this girl, for the simple fact that you would even have the audacity to send him a text message to ask him, did he need Naziah up there for anything? Tell it all. That's what I say. Well, they said that that's part of the deal. I just know I went to watch my touch, and he wasn't a part of the channel anymore. Oh yeah, you gotta yeah. When I saw it, I said, what's going on? So I went to his channel, and I saw him talking about it. And then I'm like, well, what happened? So then I went to I want to say it was legal. Was it legal AF? I don't know if it was legal AF. They had a panel on, and actually the guy that Michael was saying that is lying on him, he actually was on the live. Was it legal AF? Tag it. He was actually on live at the time that they told the story, and Ben from the Midas Touch had called him, and he had told them, guys, I need to go on mute. This is Ben. He came back and he said, Ben is in shock. He said he need to go do some investigating, but then Ben called him back. I forget. I want to say it was legal AF. Called him back, and then I went and I saw the notice that of the Midas Touch put out that says that the Midas Touch is sorry to regret that they are no longer doing business with Michael Cohen. I said, so this is for real. I was in my feels about this, but I went and listened to Michael tell the story on his channel about what happened before I unfollowed him. Because I was like, Michael, I have standards. I'm not going to support you with the quick interview. And like, what? He's also still trying to get pardoned, because if he pardons him, then like the whole thing goes away off of his record. So I think it was twofold. He wants the pardon, and maybe I can help fix some stuff, but I'll play the back. But not only did he actually he talked to somebody, according to them, allegedly, Michael actually reached out to somebody and asked them, trying to get them to get a word to the guy. That was another thing. And so right then and there, it was so crazy that Ben called in when I went down the rabbit hole. and they was all on. Now the guy who was actually the person that told, I don't follow him, and I don't even remember what his name is, because I don't really want to follow anybody else, like when it comes to like politics and stuff like that. I've already, like, my head be hurting already. So yeah, possibly. Yep. So I think it was I think it's like twofold to get the pardon for sure. And I fixed everything. I am the reason why you are the president of the United States. The first time. He's the one, because his sister had asked Michael, what are you doing? You know that he should not be running for office. Oh, it's a lot. I just don't want to get into it, because it's just like I'll be everywhere looking at everything. I just saw the interview of the guy's mother. It's really creepy because she talks just like him. Like, I'll be everywhere watching a little bit of everything. So because I like to draw my own conclusions, just not go off of what people say. I've never been somebody that would. I already know what type of creep this guy is, but I would never vote that way. Vote for somebody that doesn't care about people in general. He only cares about himself. So I don't, and even seeing him, the way he talks about his own daughter. And I've seen years ago all of the stuff that they're putting out now. I saw that years ago before they scrubbed the internet. They scrubbed the internet of all these things that they're putting out now. It was already out here. So what was brought to light in the Epstein files, I actually saw the interview of the young lady who was 12 or 13 years old at the time, right here on YouTube. Years ago, she talked about this. And I'm like, what? I'm like, where's this video? It was gone. The video is back here on YouTube now, so it just came to light in the Epstein files. But I saw the actual the victim test, and she's nobody that's out here right now. The victims that are out here speaking their truth and trying to get justice, she's not any of them. And they keep saying that the girl that is actually amongst the victims is the youngest victim that's a lot. No, she's not. She's the youngest one that spoke up. But the youngest person that I have heard of was 9 years old. So, like, it is a lot. That's a whole nother video that I don't want to even get into. I didn't even want to go down this rabbit hole, child. Sometimes I just be looking at stuff, coming across stuff like, what in the heck is this for real? I'm talking about stuff that's real, because you got a lot of people putting things out here to just, sensationalize people so that they can click and keep watching, and all this other stuff, and all of these satire stations out here that are putting out false things. Even like I've seen, it's this one channel that keeps saying, oh, David was arrested. They said that about a month ago, and he came into court and had this outburst and all of these other things. And it is just crazy. And I can't wait to see and catches them, because one channel always has the banner and it says CNN, and it's not CNN. It is actually just a YouTube content creator who is using the banner, and they actually have the nerve to have CNN on the banner, and all of their whole page is satire. It's not true. And I just like, if CNN hasn't seen this yet, I'm not running over there and telling them they wouldn't pay me if I did, and I'm not doing it anyway. But I'm just saying, I can't wait till they see it. I hope somebody else sees it and tells them. But I'm not telling nobody anything. I'm just saying that it bothers me every time I see this page, because they always are telling something false, not true. And so it just irks my nerve. Like when people report on stuff that's not true, and they're just doing it for a click interview and the like. So I don't, report on things in that way. I like to keep the integrity of my channel the way it is. So all right, so I'm going to get ready to get out of here. For always, I will make sure that you're part of my prayers, you and your whole family. And I'm hoping and praying that you guys, are able to get through tomorrow. And it always takes time to get through, things, but I'm praying that you guys are all right tomorrow. And thank you for all you do for the channel. Thank you for being here. And I want to say to anybody that is going to replay the video or watch the video, to hit that like button, hype the video if the hype button is there. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I don't know what's going on. You are very welcome, and thank you for always hopping on for me. But we all know that I wouldn't be me if I didn't leave you with if I didn't leave you by telling you that men get breast cancer too. Because the stigma surrounding the word breast, we've changed the word to chest and or pec cancer here on the Survivor Speaks channel. So we're going to continue to bring awareness that men get breast cancer too. And to all of my ladies, please make sure that you are getting your mammograms, filling on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. And don't you dare let anyone come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I'm Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next live or premiere video upload, whatever. Sometimes I'm in the comments. Thank you for watching. Peace.
If you have made it to the end of the video, you are the real MVP. So don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.